You're watching the South Texas News Leader. This is 3 News at 5.
17 dead, 15 wounded. The latest from that horrific school shooting in Florida coming up.
Plus, Corpus Christi police still on the lookout for one man who was on a crime spree on the city's south side today.
And a new development plan for North Beach ready to be presented to city leaders. Just ahead, we're going to take a look at what could be in our future.
And good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Katy Uriarte.
And I'm Rudy Trevino. We begin tonight with the latest from the Florida school shooting. Authorities are still on the scene at the high school where the suspected gunman, a former student, killed 17 people and wounded 15 others yesterday.
Yeah, students, staff, and parents, they're trying to figure out what drove that 19-year-old to do something so horrific. Authorities now learning more about his apparently troubled life. Stephanie Ramos reports.
The former student suspected of gunning down 17 people and injuring 15 others stepped into court for the first time this afternoon.
Are you Nicholas Jacob Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
19-year-old Nicholas Cruz is facing 17 counts of premeditated murder.
Mr. Cruz, you're going to be held without bond until further order of the court.
Police say Cruz opened fire at his former high school, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, Florida. It was about 2 in the afternoon when the gunshots started outside the school Wednesday. Terrified students hiding in classrooms behind desks.
I feel like I'm in a dream. I don't believe this is real. There's no way to describe what happened.
White male, burgundy shirt, wearing a black hat and either long black pants or shorts. He mixed in with a group of students that were running westbound.
Cruz eventually caught a few miles away from the deadly scene by this officer from a neighboring department.
Training kicked in. I pulled my vehicle over immediately, engaged the suspect.
Authorities are now learning more about the suspect, described as a loner and crazy by neighbors and other students.
He was always what he was. He was always weird, edgy, violent, aggressive.
Some families left in absolute anguish. Friends, strangers, all coming together to remember the victims of one of the deadliest school shootings in the U.S.
Where do we go? Who do we go to? How do we cope? Where do we find the strength?
The Anti-Defamation League tells ABC News a suspect had ties to a white supremacist group. Meanwhile, the FBI is now even looking into how they handled a tip they received last year about a threat the suspect posted on YouTube. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Parkland, Florida.
Dr. Ada Besamais from Carroll High School and CCISD Superintendent Dr. Roland Hernandez join us right now to talk about this tragedy. Doctor, I'm assuming that, of course, we're all thinking about this right now, but CCISD does have a security plan, a very well laid out security plan. Can you share some of that with us?
Yes, first our hearts and our prayers go out to the students and families in Florida. That is always something that we don't like to hear about, and you certainly hope that never happens in your school district. But as far as our security goes, we take that very seriously. We make sure that we have routine and training on active shooter drills. We do lockdown training. We do shelter in place regularly. We have a security system alerts where we can notify our parents right away of something that's taking place for all of our students and their families. And so keeping that communication open to make sure they know that our kids are safe is very important.
And Dr. Hernandez, we have a new system in place now. We highlighted Moody High School this afternoon, and it's going to be on our news at 6 o'clock about the new security buzz system that they have. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we're really making it a priority for all of our schools that as you enter the front of the school, you're going to be entering at the front office area with no access to the rest of the school. Not until it's clear through the front office can they buzz and give you access to the remainder of the halls and the school itself. Sure. And so that's a big security issue for us because you really don't know who's coming. You're controlling it at the entrance and you have one entrance, one exit point.
Absolutely. And sadly, when things like this happen, it not only affects those who are directly affected, but indirectly it affects all schools, all students, all teachers and parents across the country. And sometimes our children need counseling, need help to kind of understand this. Dr. Besamais oversees all of the counselors for CCISD. Do we have a plan in place for that?
Yes, sir, we do. We recently have gone through extensive crisis training for the district. All the district counselors were trained consecutively in the last 2 years on how to address current needs of students in crisis, staffs and students likewise. We also do a lot of in-class counseling to provide the conversation around if you see something, say something. That regardless of what's coming out in our social media, conversations among students, that we have an obligation to report anything that may be something to be looked into. And so that's the message to our students.
No doubt. It is the day and age in which we live in today, where we have to be extra cautious and spread the word that if we do see something, say something.
Yes.
Doctor, one more thing, and this having to do with added security at some of our older schools. Have we stepped it up there as well?
Well, that continues to be our goal. As a district, we've done so many great things over the past few years, and that's a very big thank you to our community. With our bond programs, building new schools to make sure that our kids are inside at all times. We do have some older schools, and that's the way they were built with the outdoor concept, but we're addressing those.
It was a different time.
It was a different time.
Dr. Bismais, Dr. Hernandez, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us.
Katia, back to you.
And it was a different time. Thank you for that. Meanwhile, other news now. So city planners are presenting an updated capital improvements list for North Beach. Our Brian Burns has been at the open house, and he joins us from North Beach with more on this.
Well, Katia, Rudy, improved exit ramps from the new Harbor Bridge, a traffic circle, and a longer boat canal. Just some of the ideas being presented at the open house on the second floor of Fajitaville. That's going on right now. These are updates on improvements to the redevelopment plan for North Beach, first proposed back in 2012. Some 24 people came to the beginning of the open house at noon today to see the ideas and give their input. Karen Costanzo, senior city planner, says the ideas highlighted improved access from the new Harbor Bridge.
The canal is a little bit longer to the north and south. There's also an addition of a traffic circle along Beach with the intersection of Timon and Surfside Boulevards to help a free flow of traffic. There's a lot of concern expressed from the community about making sure the traffic doesn't back up along the frontage road now that there's just one exit onto North Beach from the new Harbor Bridge.
The plans also include some barrier islands to be built with excavations from the canal, channel dredging, or the new Harbor Bridge. Now, these plans, including input from the public, will go to the Planning Commission next Wednesday. And then city planners hope to get the entire proposals to City Council by the end of March. Now, the open house continues on the second floor of Fajitaville until 6:30 tonight. Live from North Beach, Brian Burns, 3 News.
All right, Brian, thank you for that. Meantime, in Washington, D.C., the issue of gun control is center stage after yesterday's deadly school shooting there in Florida. Tara Palmieri reports.
For the 4th time since taking office, President Trump addressed the nation in the wake of a mass shooting. He offered sympathy, but did not utter the word gun.
No child, no teacher should ever be in danger in an American school.
The president appeared to blame the problem on mental health like he's done before, but offered no legislative answers.
We are committed to working with state and local leaders to help secure our schools and tackle the difficult issue of mental health.
President Trump said he would visit the site of the shooting. This weekend, he'll be at his resort Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, just 40 miles away from the school. Sources in the White House say he may stop there over the weekend. Over in Congress, there was a lot of talk, a moment of silence,
for the victims of the Florida school shooting,
and not a lot of action.
Children are dying in our schools, in our communities, on our streets. All this Congress has to say is, let's have a moment of silence.
It's even split among the chambers. House Speaker Paul Ryan blamed the Senate for stalling his legislation on instant background checks.
If there's someone who's not supposed to get a gun who's getting a gun, then we got to figure out why that's happening and fix that. That's a legislation. That's a piece of legislation we already passed that's sitting in the Senate.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio says he doesn't want to rush into action.
We could pass laws. There are plenty of ideas out there, but those laws wouldn't solve the problem.
Last year, President Trump blocked an Obama administration regulation that would have made it more difficult for the mentally ill to buy guns. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
And now to crime news here at home. On the south side, a man is caught trying to steal not one, but 2 cars this morning.
That's right. Michelle Pedraza joins us now live from Caravelle Parkway near Weber with details on this story. Michelle, tell us about it.
Hey guys, well, residents we spoke to are still pretty shaken up about what they experienced today. A man is still on the loose after trying to steal their cars. It all started right here at the Waterford Apartments around 8 this morning. Now, this is what we know. In the first attempted car robbery, Corpus Christi police say a man jumped into a woman's vehicle while she was still parked and still inside her car. He demanded her to drive off while holding a weapon. The woman refused to follow his demand, telling him no and to get out of her car. Officials say the suspect got out of that car and went to another apartment complex close by, found another car running with no one inside it. He quickly jumped in and drove off.
So I was clearing the car in the back seat for a car seat, and I left the door open. I left the car on. I was out. As I was going up the stairs, I saw him go into the car, and that's when he took off. It could have been worse, so I'm just grateful that at least I mean, yes, I have my car now, but I mean, grateful I have my life at least.
Now, investigators say the suspect decided to abandon it at another apartment complex close by, and police are still looking for this suspect, and we will continue to bring you the latest details in this investigation. Coming up tonight at 6, though, hear how a cell phone helped one of those women find the stolen cars. Reporting live from Caryville Parkway, Michelle Pedraza, 3 News.
Thanks, Michelle, for that. Meantime, cadets with the Corpus Christi Police Academy making a symbolic run of the streets here in our city. The 8-mile journey represents their transition into law enforcement, taking just over an hour to complete. The run begins at the Academy on Corona near Everhart, finishes at police headquarters downtown. The program takes 31 weeks to complete, and it combines physical activity and, of course, academics. For one cadet, the transition to police officer is full circle since she began as secretary to Police Chief Markle.
It is huge. It is something that I thought would never come. Like I said, I've always wanted to be right where I'm going to be tomorrow at graduation, and it feels really good.
This is the 76th Corpus Christi Police Academy. Graduation takes place tomorrow at the Selena Auditorium.
All right, congratulations to all the cadets. And residents in Port Aransas getting an opportunity today at finding a new career.
A lot of these businesses have put their hard work, and they're just like, it's tremendous. It almost brings me to tears to think how hard everybody's worked to put their businesses back together.
True. The Port Aransas and Mustang Island Chamber of Commerce teaming up for this job fair. Organizers say this is a fresh start and an opportunity for job seekers and employers to network and to fill any open positions, especially since folks out there continue to recover from Hurricane Harvey.
The store I work at, they lost 3 stores, so they've cut hours, and so we're just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it.
And nearly 50 employers attended the event, and organizers say more businesses are opening up, if not every day, every single week. And so to come tonight on 3 News at 5, Elon Musk making some comments about a South Texas community that's really not sitting well with South Texas residents. Their message to the tech mogul coming up.
But first, meteorologist Bill Vesey delivered as promised. Nice weather today,
goodness,
Bill.
So nice. People were happy, Bill.
Yeah, we like people happy, right? As far as the weather is concerned. Katya, Rudy, everybody. Hola, amigos. All right, we'll continue to be happy through the early evening hours. Mild but increasing clouds later in the evening. Partly to mostly cloudy and 68 here by 8. But changes start tomorrow. Keep it here on TV3 for the complete forecast, plus more local news on 3 News at 5.